Hey everybody, welcome back. This is going to be my budgeting video for the paycheck that I received yesterday, February 25th. I don't know why I just unclicked my pen. So let's just jump right into it. Ooh, this light is flickering. I'm going to have to, I guess, get a new one soon. These things seem to die very quickly. I don't know. Okay, so I'm starting off with a balance of $1,754.64. That balance is a little bit higher than normal because I screwed up. Last paycheck, you guys, if you watch, you know, I take out part of my rent every paycheck and I put it over to a savings account so that it's like half and half on each check instead of all of it coming out of one. So I did the math for it and then I forgot to transfer the money over. Yeah, really great. At some point in the 2 weeks, I take a look at my bank account frequently just to make sure that nothing horrible has happened to it. And I remember thinking, like, that doesn't seem right. That seems higher than what it should be, because by that point, all of my bills had processed out and things like that. But of course, you know, when I budget $250 for gas and I take it out of the math, it's not like I'm pulling out $250 from the bank account on that day, right? Like I'm using it as I go through the 2 weeks. So I kept thinking, like, no, it must just be because something hasn't processed through or I haven't pulled something out yet, you know, and I don't know. Anyways, it turned out that I hadn't actually moved that money over and I spent some of it without realizing, because I just was like, wow, I must have done my math wrong. I have extra money. This is great. And then when it was too late, I clued into what I did and I was like, oh, damn. So I made sure to do that this time. Transfer the rent over. It's safely tucked away now. But yeah, I mean, lucky for me that last month was a 3 paycheck month and I pulled out a half each time instead of lowering it to a third. So I'm not actually behind, but I'm not ahead the way I had intended to be, which is unfortunate, but what you gonna do? So I pulled out the half of rent and now I'm doing my student loan payment. Oh, oops. Then the next is going to be sinking funds. And then the next is my second student loan payment that I purposely keep separate just because I like to keep track of it that way. I did notice though in my banking information when I go, because of course like this is a Saturday, so I'll process all of these through in the app, but then they're not actually really going to show as being completed transactions until usually about Tuesday or Wednesday, depending. And I've noticed that it'll actually mush the two of them together and just show a singular payment of the combined amount. But then if I go into the National Student Loan Student Center website and pull into my account and look at it, it does show the separated payments. So I mean, it gets there separate, which is good for me because that's how I like to track it. But I don't know, just how the system works, I suppose. Savings challenge, $53 every paycheck. Okay. And then $25 into my investment thing. And then my cell phone. So it's not actually due until 3rd of March, I think it was, is what the text message said. But obviously I'm paying it now. It'll take forever to process anyways. So this short month is messing with my timing. Okay, and then my regular $250 for gas. did a little bit of grocery shopping yesterday. Not my normal stuff. I found on Uber Eats a Korean like market, not full on grocery store, but at least a market that I could get some stuff from. And I was staying in because I was selling a desk and I needed to stay home for when the people who were buying it were coming to pick it up. And I just figured, I'll do that with the full intention of actually going out and doing regular grocery shopping afterwards for the rest of the items that I needed, which I did not do. So I sort of calculated out what I spent at the store, kind of just rounding it because, you know, sometimes your girl's lazy. I mean, oftentimes I'm lazy. Let's be realistic here. So I'm going to give myself $90 for the next 2 weeks. Line of credit. So something else that I screwed up on. I made a payment to my line of credit last paycheck, but it wasn't enough. And I don't know why I did that. I think I thought I had one more paycheck, like this paycheck, before the line of credit payment was actually due. So I would do like part of the payment last paycheck and then sort of make up the difference plus extra this paycheck. But I had it clearly marked on my calendar as showing that the payment was due prior to this paycheck. So I don't know. But my bank sent me an email being like, hey, you need to pay us like, it was like $41 or something. I don't know. But yeah, they're mad. And I don't like to be in trouble with the bank because some days you kind of need them. So the minimum payment right now, because of like the overdue, late payment, I can't remember what the word was that they used. But I owe them $213.70 like minimum. And then I want to make more of a payment from that, but I'm going to do my Visa first and then see how much I can sort of spare to put extra onto the line of credit. Now I made sure to check the Visa to see what the minimum payment was on that, so I didn't make the same mistake with that one, and it's $10. So I mean, I'm doing fine. So I picked 60 just because I don't have any real reason for it, and I'm going to put an extra $100 onto the line of credit. $189.51, which leaves me with a buffer of $189.51. Normally I would sort of pull from that to make maybe like an additional payment on something, but I have coming up next weekend, I'm getting together with a friend, so I'm going to have to pay for the Uber to get to his place. I mean, I suppose I could drive. I'm not drinking. I think he has parking. Either way, there's going to be expenses next weekend. And I gave notice at my job, and this is my last week at it. I start a new job on the 7th of March, so I have a whopping 3 days between the end of one and the beginning of another. But I have a feeling there's going to be like stuff this week, you know, like people are like, oh, let's go for a coffee, it'll be our last time, and you know, like fun stuff like that. And I just want to leave like a little buffer in there for things like that that might happen. So I'm going to do that. I'll leave the $189.51. But yeah, so that's kind of the breakdown of where all of the money is going. And to be honest, it's actually already gone because I got so freaked out by forgetting to transfer the rent from the last time that I did it all before sitting down to write it out so that I knew it would be taken care of. And I will just show you really quick the other pages. Okay, so I already filled them in. So I've got the emergency fund, got an extra $40. So I have sitting there right now $1,671.14, which is pretty great. My dragon boating / present fund is sitting at $200.29. Savings challenge, I contributed, so now it's at $265. My travel fund, $473.73. And then my debt tracker, I made the 2 payments to the student loan, and over here I made the 2 payments to the line of credit, and then I also made the 1 payment to the Visa. And then way back here is this fun little check sheet. I don't know why I think this little check mark sheet is fun. I think it's just because it's a list, and who doesn't like completing a list? So I checked up all the stuff except for the donation one. I might still go in and donate something from this paycheck just because, you know, there's a lot of stuff happening in the world and a lot of people that need help, but I haven't made a commitment to one of them yet, so I want to wait. I really would like to be able to wait until next paycheck, but I don't know, sometimes things just seem a little bit more imminently in need of money than, you know, my time frame. yeah, so I filled in my expense tracker. Now this is much more on target for how much I thought it would be taking up for paper than the previous month. Remember when I was like all the way on like the last page and I just was like, oh my god, I can't believe I spend so much. This is much more what I was expecting. So I mean, it starts on the first here, it's the 25th over here, it's not even a page and a half. I have no idea why I skipped a line up there. I just did, you know, because why not. I'm still making sure to mark out which ones are visas and which ones are not. If it's not, it just means it's my regular debit card. A bunch of these are bills. I have to go online and check my Amazon account because I have 2 Amazon charges, and I'm pretty sure I know what they are, but I just like to double check and make sure that everything is good. I have no idea what my $1.11 charge is to Apple. Like, I believe it. I believe that it is legitimate, the same as the $4.47 one. But really, you know, you just sort of like lose track. I don't know. And then this one here, well, these two here, I suppose. So down here, I filled out that I did the student loan, line of credit, and visa on the 26th. I didn't have any more healthcare stuff because my one job is finishing, and the new one, when it kicks in, I'll be on probation for 3 months, so I won't have coverage from my employer. I actually contacted my doctor and I got my prescription refilled in advance, so I can go and pick it up this week and pay for it still under coverage from my current employer, and then not run out in between employers and have to use the MSP, because I mean, it would still be covered, the government would pay it, but it's just like an extra step, so I'd rather avoid it. So, you know, for the next 3 months I have to stay very, very healthy and avoid all medical things. I marked down the food, $90 for the February 25th through to March 11th. Same with the gas, but $250. My parents' housekeeper, they texted me to let me know they came, so that was over here on the 17th. They showed up. I make it sound like they don't always show up. They always show up. It's just that happened to be the day that they did it. I marked down here that the cell phone is actually due March 3rd, just because. And I haven't circled this yet, but this is like just the bills paid on this date, and I just kind of list them out. Just because really I want an excuse to use a highlighter and make the calendar a little bit more colorful, for no other reason than that. It looks really empty though, and I don't know. I mean, it's fine, minimalistic I suppose, but not cute. And then up here, I just marked down the savings fund, the sinking funds and the savings challenge contributions, paycheck, and then for my month's goals, it was don't use credit cards, sell my desk, and my shelving unit. So I sold the desk, which is great. The credit card, I mean, it has been getting used, but I guess sort of in my defense, if you kind of take a look at what it's getting used for, it's only specifically for like online purchases, because how else are you going to buy stuff? Most places you can't hook up your debit card to do that. And I don't know, I don't feel so bad about how much I've used the credit card. It's not like I'm going out and swiping it for everything. It's really just sort of the online purchases, which is where I would expect to see it getting used. And I mean, some of them are automatic bills that get charged, so like, I can't fight that. And yeah, I got my T4 for my taxes, so that's great. I still have to wait for the Wealth Simple. That's the people I have money in like a high interest savings account, and where I put my investing money. And I remember from last year tax season, they wait till like the last possible date to make the documents available online, and it irritates the bejesus out of me because I'm that weirdo that wants to do my taxes early, and I can't without all the paperwork. So I will be waiting on that. Oh, and I also apparently marked down to put the visa due date on the calendar, which I did. It was right there. So I accomplished all of my goals. Well, as much as I could. I can't make people buy the shelving unit, but I took pictures, I posted it. I still have it up on Facebook Marketplace. We're still trying. And there we go. That is the budget for my February 25th paycheck. I'd say it worked out pretty well. I mean, everything got paid this time, so automatically it's doing better than last, right? I will fill in here my sinking funds, the fully funded ones, as well as the ones that I contributed to, even though they're marked right here and nothing has changed. But I might as well. So there we go. I hope you guys are all having a really great day, that you are, you know, having fun doing whatever you're doing. Hope your budget is going well for you also. And yeah, stay safe out there, you guys. I'll talk to you in a couple weeks. Bye.